How's everybody doing out there? If you're new to my channel, my name is Sean. I'm a truck driver trainer. I started driving over 16 years ago. As a new driver, I started at the company I work for now, Rosedale Transport. Came right out of school, worked for them for about 3.5 years, and I left. And I went and started driving for a couple of the mega carriers, and then realized that, hey, I missed the company I started with, so I came back. I was a trainer. I trained at several companies, but the last about 2 years ago, September 2 years ago, I decided to start a YouTube channel. It's called Trucking Life with Sean. Yeah, I started doing it. My son wanted me to start it out, and I started out doing it, for him and playing around with it, and then I realized that I enjoyed it, just like I enjoyed truck driving and I enjoyed training drivers. I enjoy doing the YouTube channel. Good morning, Georgia Rob. I enjoyed. Good to see you, buddy. What's up, brother? I enjoyed teaching and training drivers over the years, and with the YouTube channel, I was able to pass some knowledge over and help drivers. And over the last 2 years, I got a lot of good compliments and people that I've helped and different things, and it made me feel good. So I continue doing it, and the channel ended up growing up to we're almost at 70,000 followers, doing very well. Several months back, YouTube demonetized my channel due to different, I don't know if they like what I said or whatever. So the YouTube doesn't pay me any money. I don't make any money off YouTube. So when you see my videos off YouTube, I'm doing this just to help you out and try to build the channel up and things like that. I am sponsored by Connect Now. Connect Now does sponsor my channel. They make Bluetooth headsets. They make everything you need, nothing that you don't. So if you ever need a good Bluetooth headset, make sure you check out Connect Now. What's up, Zach Rod? United Billy, what's up? Good to see everybody back on the live. They finally gave me my live streams back, so we're back doing live streams. If you haven't followed me on Facebook yet, Facebook's doing really well over there. I'm putting a lot of videos there. I'm also putting a lot of my older videos when I was out there driving on Facebook. So if you haven't got a chance to follow me on Facebook, go over there and check it out. We've got over 200,000 followers on Facebook. I appreciate all y'all who's done that. But this year, we're going to get to 100,000 followers on YouTube. That's going to be the goal for 2025. We ain't that far away. So if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button right now. I definitely appreciate it. But then I come off the road back in April. I come off the road in April to come work inside of Rosedale Transport. I actually work in the, I guess you call it the safety department. I work near lawn safety, and basically I'm a driver coach. I help drivers succeed with their safety scores and keeping them safe, and helping them with their miles and mentoring them. The same thing that I was doing as a trainer, but on a larger scale. And I really appreciate the opportunity that Rosedale gave me to do that. So, but this morning, I want to talk to you about it's winter, man. If y'all haven't already known yet, winter is already here. And I'll be down here in Georgia, but I've gotten a lot of people sending me stuff from Ohio, up in Pennsylvania, and all across different places where the weather has gotten, it's there. It's something that happens every year. But with truck driving, you want to make sure that you stay safe in the winter. You want to stay all the time, but winter driving is a little different in the summertime. So I wanted to talk to you about that this morning, give you some tips. These are some basic tips. There's a lot to learn. The one way to learn is get out there and do it. I train with a trainer during the summertime. And then when it got winter, I was on my own out of school. And I had to learn a lot by listening to YouTube videos like this or other people's YouTube channels or blogs, and just reading and keeping up with my knowledge on different things. Don't be afraid to talk to other drivers and ask them how they handle it, things they do, and learn. Every day you're going to learn something. That's human nature, no matter what it is. If you can try to achieve to learn something every day, I learn things every day. The part of my job that I'm doing right now, 2 months ago, I'd have no idea what I was doing. Now I'm learning how to do reports and learning how to do different things in a different part of the industry, but I'm having to learn. So whatever you got to do, try to learn something every day. But like I said, today we're going to talk about winter driving, making sure that we're up to date on speed, on all that good stuff. Get on the road, Bo. Make sure we're up to speed on everything and try to give you some tips that'll help you out, all right? All right, so turn my light off here. How'd that get on? There it goes. All right. I'm in my personal car right now. I'm on my way to Dalton, Georgia, if y'all y'all are wondering. I just went through Cave Springs, almost to Rome, Georgia. All right, so one thing you want to do is you want to make sure your vehicle is ready. Okay, you want to make sure that it's winter ready. I've checked your batteries. Make sure your batteries are good. Make sure they're fully charged. Making sure your antifreeze levels are good. I mean, you should check this stuff all the time, but you want to make sure you got plenty of coolant. You want to make sure that your tire, we talk about tires a lot, right? We want to make sure our tread depth is right. You don't want to be out there with bad tread depth in the wintertime. So tires are also very important. They're very important in the summertime. They're very important all the time, but they're really important in the wintertime. So make sure your tire depth's right. Make sure it's the air to the proper PSI. Again, these are things you should be doing all year long, but still, you want to make sure you get in the truck and make sure your defrost works. Make sure you're checking your brakes, your lights, your windshield wipers, y'all. These are all important. Making sure that your windshield wiper fluid is full. You don't want to get out there and run out of that. Number one, it's a DOT field inspection. If you ain't got a windshield wiper fluid, you get out there in the storm, you're going to want windshield wiper fluid, I promise. I was low one time. I was out in Colorado, and I had a winter storm of I couldn't see. I had to pull over and get more windshield wiper fluid. It's very important. Making sure that your windshield wiper fluid, your windshield wipers are good. When's the last time you actually checked those things? Make sure that they're working right. Make sure they're good on there. And keep extra stuff inside your truck. Keep extra antifreeze. Keep extra oil. Keep an extra pair of windshield wipers. All this stuff is very good to have, especially when you're coming into the wintertime. Okay? Another thing you want to do is you want to stay informed. Sean, what do you mean by staying informed? Well, you want to check the weather forecast. How many out there right now? Let me know in the comments if you're checking your weather forecast. Make sure you're checking it. Know where you're going. Know where the storms are going to be at. I always check my weather. I want to know if I'm going to be hitting the storm or what good times. Okay, at 3 p.m. the storm's going to hit really good. They're very accurate with their weather now. So you want to stay informed and know before you go. That way you can plan correctly. I'll tell you a story one time, and now this is just, I was lucky, okay? But still, I was a new driver, but I was watching the weather. Actually, I was talking to my father, and we were talking about the storms. I was calling him, and he was checking different things for me on the Weather Channel. There was a storm coming across. It was coming across, going to be coming over up through Kentucky and Ohio, and pretty big weather storm. And I had a load to go from Atlanta to Akron, Ohio. It was actually Swanee, Georgia to Akron, Ohio. There was 17 trucks left out that night from Rosedale going out that way. And again, I was a new driver. And I looked at the map and I seen that storm coming. And I thought, you know what? And I took a gamble, but I said, I think I can make it if I cut through West Virginia mountains. Now, that was a gamble because if that storm would have went a little faster, I could have got stuck in those mountains a whole lot worse. But I did. I took off. I went that way. The other 16 trucks went up the normal way up through 75 to Kentucky. 6 a.m. delivery. I remember pulling up at 6 a.m. I remember calling my dispatcher and said, hey, I made it. And then he laughed. He said, it's all right. He said, hey, nobody made it, Sean. He said, you're a new driver. It's okay. He said, you're going to fail loads. I said, no, actually, I made it. He looked at GPS. He said, how did you do that? The other 16, 17 trucks, they didn't make it past Kentucky. Storm had hit. But I was ahead of the storm, and I actually got to make my run. Now, once I got up there, I was kind of stuck. But what I'm saying is, most importantly, to check your weather and know certain things like this. That's good. That's good to do anyway with floods and bad storms or whatever. But in the wintertime, definitely keep a watch on that and know where the storms are going to be. He said drivers usually get up in the afternoon. No, talking about drivers get up all the time. I see comments there. But I really want to help you out on this winter driving thing because it's important. But again, it's about planning your loads, pre-trip and plan. Okay, pre-trip and plan. Everything in life is plan, right? Actually, pre-trip too. You pre-trip everything you do in life, right? Check it all out. You know what I'm saying? All right. So staying informed. That's the one big thing. Planning your route, like I said, is the other thing. You want to make sure that you're staying on well-maintained roads. You want to avoid areas known for severe weather or bad road closures. Ain't nothing worse than a road closure. Getting stuck on a road closure for a long time, I hate that. Hate it, hate it, hate it. All right, now, drivers, you're going to need to adjust your driving habits, okay? It's always better to do that anyway, but for some reason, people seem not to listen to it in the wintertime. I had a dedicated route going up to Akron, Ohio, and it was at night years ago. I used to count the wrecks because of the ice. And I remember one night I counted 138 cars on the side. There's four-wheelers too, on the side of the road from Georgia all the way up. 138. Now, there was tractor trailers, different things. Your driving habits. You've got to change your driving habits. Number one, you want to reduce your speed. Should be doing anyway. But you want to increase your following distance. You do not want to sit on somebody's tail, especially in the wintertime. You want to stay away from everybody. Okay? Because look, most of the time an accident may not even be caused from you, from somebody else. That's where the defensive driving comes in. But you want to pay attention to everybody around you, and you want to stay as far back as way as you can. Don't, resist the urge to get on somebody's butt. Lane changes. Go very slow when you're doing your lane changes. There's a thing that I always call when I talk about driving in winter. People say, how do you drive, Sean? You drive smooth. What do you mean by smooth? Y'all have heard me say this before. You want to be a smooth operator. You ever heard that song? Well, what I mean by smooth is you don't want to get on the brakes real hard. You want to be smooth on the brakes. Okay? Smooth on the brakes. When you're turning, you don't want to jerk that steering wheel. You want to be smooth on the steering wheel. Okay? You want to be smooth on the accelerator. Everything you do, man, do it smooth. That is a great tip for you this year if you're a new driver out there on the road. Smooth. Be very smooth on the driving part, all right? Just go slower. And then you got to know when to go and know when to say no, too. Now, when I'm out there on the road and I'm driving, everybody wants to get their miles and you want to get there. Sometimes getting there means stopping. When the weather's too bad, pull it over. Call it a wrap. Most places, especially up north, maybe not down here south, but most places, especially up north, they will have the roads cleared out in a day or so. So the roads get really bad and you start seeing people jackknife. I'm not going to drive 10, 15 miles an hour for 10 hours. I ain't going to do it. That's crazy. If I've got to get down to 15, 20 miles an hour for a long period of time, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits. Because what happens is I'm going to pull over and I'm going to go ahead and stop. And once I stop, everything will clear out a couple days later. Good morning, Rick. I ain't seen you on live in a while. Of course, I haven't done a live on YouTube in a while. Rise and shine, big dog. Rise and shine. Rick's the VP of Rosedale Transport. Actually joined on this video this morning. Good to have him, a special guest him this morning. But if you just joined, we're talking about winter driving and the importance of being safe this winter. Like I said, we're talking about driving smooth, being a smooth operator, smooth on your brakes, smooth on the steering, smooth on the speed, and then knowing when to go and knowing when to say no. Like I said, don't drive 15 miles an hour all night. You could pull over, they'll clear out the road the next day, and once they clear out the road the next day, you'll be good to go. And then you're back driving, 60 miles an hour or whatever. So know when to go and know when to say no. Those are very, very, very important. So we talked about this morning pre-tripping. We went over the pre-trip, right? Making sure that you're pre-tripping your truck, your defrost and all that stuff works. Making sure you have plenty of fluids. Making sure all that's ready. Your tires, making sure your tire depths are good. Should be doing it anyway, but especially in the wintertime, okay? Staying informed. Making sure that we're paying attention to our weather conditions, our radar, and knowing our route so we can plan ahead of time. All right, this may sound silly, but use your headlights even in the daytime because visibility is low. Keep that windshield clean. Keeping that windshield clean will help out tremendously. Keeping it clean. Every time you stop for fuel, clean that windshield. Make sure your mirrors are good and clean. That's another thing. Most trucks today have heated mirrors. So make sure your heated mirrors work and do that on your part of your pre-trip, okay? Make sure your fuel tanks, all right? In the wintertime, I never let them go below half a tank. Never. I always kept them full. Two reasons. One, this is going to help prevent fuel line freeze, and it ensures that you have enough fuel for unexpected delays. You don't want to get out there, especially out in Wyoming, Colorado, anywhere really where there's a big winter blizzard and you run out of fuel, freeze to death. Had a story last year of a driver called me and he was out there and he had about a quarter tank. Well, as the storm kept getting worse and worse and worse, he ended up running out of fuel. But a tractor came by. I actually I did an interview on this. A tractor came by, and actually a tractor now, a plow tractor, and pulled him to the truck stop. He wouldn't been a couple miles, but he ran out of fuel. And they pulled him over. He pulled him into a bay and got on some fuel, so he was able to get back over, not even a parking spot, just in the middle of the parking lot, so he could stay warm. So keep it fuel, keep it full. Now, I had problems in Kansas last year where I almost ran out of DEF. The DEF handles, it got so cold, the DEF handles were breaking. I don't know what it was, but they kept breaking at the Love's truck stop. And I stopped at the truck stop, and there wasn't no DEF there. Or they were DEF, the handles were all broke. I did a video on that too, and eventually you have to hopefully find DEF. So keep that full. Keep your tanks full so you ain't got to worry about it, okay? Speaking of fuel, I know we got a lot of Rosedale drivers that drive with us. Y'all remember now, we're not fueling in Georgia. Taxes are high in Georgia. So we don't fuel in Georgia. We don't fuel in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana. We don't fuel in those states right now because the taxes are really high. So if you work here at Rosedale Transport, make sure you're doing your fuel plan. I send out the fuel routes every day. Make sure you're sticking to that. If you can't go to one of those on the route, there's other ones in the states you can definitely go to stay away from the no states, which I send that out on the Samsara every day. So, but that's for the Rosedale drivers that are watching this morning. I noticed we had a few Rosedale drivers on here, so I want to remind that. Okay. All right. So winter driving. What else we're going to do, y'all? We're going to stay calm. We're going to stay calm in bad weather. Worst thing you can do is freak out. Oh God, it's no. You're going to freak out and do something wrong. Just be easy. Pay attention to your surroundings, and just be easy, okay? Defensive driving, we talked about. You need to practice that anyway. Be prepared for the uninspected actions of other drivers, especially in bad conditions, because I've seen drivers that'll spin out in front of you, especially four-wheelers. They'll spin right on out. And they'll wreck, and they'll cause you to wreck. I've seen trucks jackknife and everything else because you're not paying attention to the other drivers. Make sure you're paying attention to your surroundings, okay? Make sure you're doing that. Pay attention. Pay attention to your surroundings. Always, always, always. All right, y'all. You also want to communicate. Communicate. How many times we talk about this, drivers? You want to be communicating with your dispatch. Communicate. Keep your dispatcher informed and let them know your location and any delays that you encounter. Because at the end of the day, we are delivering freight, and we want to make sure that our customers know if we're running behind. Okay, that's also important. Another thing that you need to be prepared for is stock in your truck. Okay, you want to make sure you're always stocked and ready inside your truck. Make sure you have food. Make sure you have a toilet seat bucket, y'all. Come on now, a bucket. You say, what, a bucket? Yeah, a bucket with a garbage bag in case you got to go do the do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're prepared for that and have everything you need. I got stuck in a winter storm before. It didn't matter. I'll have a pot of chicken, a pot of chili cooking. Staying chilling, you know what I mean? Not worried about it. Have me a bathroom. It didn't matter where I was at. I was prepared. I had water, I had food, I had medicine, I had everything I needed. And drivers today ain't that prepared. And I had a driver over the weekend. that worked for Rosedale. I'm not knocking him, he's a newer driver, but his truck went out in Michigan and he was stuck at the Shaw warehouse. They had no bathroom there because they were closed, had no groceries in his truck. I had to get him a tow truck, get him to a hotel, but it took a while to get it done. It was at night and then over to the next day. If it had been me, I'd already been fine. I'd been stayed in my truck. I wouldn't have to go to a hotel because I'd had everything that I needed in the truck. So regardless if it's winter or not, being prepared is going to help you make money and save money and give you the peace of mind that you need. I hope this tip helps you out. If they do, let me know in the comments. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you follow us. And remember, on Facebook, I've got over 200,000 followers on Facebook. So make sure you do that also. All right, before I close out today on my way to work, I would like to say a little prayer with y'all. Please don't close your eyes and bow your head if you're driving. Keep your eyes open. Dear Heavenly Father, I ask you to go out to touch every one of these drivers today. Keep them safe. Let them know that they're not alone, that you're with them. Lord, I ask to pray over depression, pray over loneliness, fatigue, whatever they may be going through, God. I ask you to touch them and help them and protect them. In your precious name I pray. Amen. If one of y'all out there are lost and don't know Jesus, I ask you to ask him to your heart. He'll save you. Just say, Jesus, come into my heart and save my soul. You never know when you're going to go around the corner and it's going to be the last time that you drive. You never know when you're going to meet your maker. Ask him in your heart today. It'll change your life. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for joining the channel today. It's Trucking Live with Sean, baby. What do we say? Let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. I'll see y'all next time.